Another question is, Inso, how do you make a good first impression when you enter the interview room, when you want to make a good impression on these people, and perhaps you're talking to a group of people? And I guess the question is a bit difficult because it depends on the company, it depends on the level of formality, but are there any, again, universal tools that anyone can use to make a good first impression?
First of all, wear ties
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
suit.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding. This is not
Mm-hmm.
this is not the rule.
Yeah.
But definitely, if we want to say talk about making a good first impression, what's really interesting about impression is that there are psychology studies that says that people make impression in about as short as, say, something like 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically people will form an impression of you.
Yeah.
Within 7 seconds that will last for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to make sure that if you want to make sure that you capture that impression by presenting the best of yourself, because even if the best of yourself is what they see, then it can last them a long time to overcome that impression. But if what they see is the worst of you, then obviously you'll start with a handicap as well. It'd be hard for you to overcome that. So what do people see in 7 seconds though? People see, your physical appearance. They see, your posture. Your basically, are you smiling? Right? Are you looking at people comfortably? Or are you fidgeting? Right? How's your handshake? Right? In 7 seconds, they're not gonna have a chance to say to determine whether you're the smartest developers or the smartest candidate they ever come across. All they can tell is whether or not just these very, very superficial attributes, basically.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you have these things addressed. Because that will be the only way that you can start off on a good footing. So when it comes to appearance, make sure you're well groomed. It's like, I don't know, maybe you have maybe you look better with a beard, maybe you don't. Whichever way it is, make sure that you deal with that accordingly. Maybe you look better with long hair, maybe you don't. Maybe you look better with shorter hair. Think of getting a haircut like the day before you go to interview, something like that. Right? Make sure that you take shower. Right? Some people might find that challenging, I guess. I don't know, but obviously make sure that you try to clean yourself up as much as you can, right? And for women, now potentially involve makeup of some sort. Maybe even men. I don't know. Whichever way that it works best for you. You might need a stylist to help tell you that information, right? Try to find someone to evaluate you. Do you look good? Do you look sharp? Do you look presentable, professional, right? And wear something nice. Now here's a rule for wearing something nice. Then that is called one up. Okay, this is a rule that we have in consulting industries. So basically, we call it one up the client. That if the client is wearing, if the dress code is casual, then you wear business casual.
Yeah.
If the dress code is business casual, then you wear business formal. Basically, because you're the one that they're trying to hire. You're the one here applying for a job, so you gotta make sure you present yourself in as good a light as you can. And the reverse doesn't work. I mean, because if you're overdressed, people think that you take this thing seriously, so they're okay with you being overdressed. But if you're underdressed, then then they're gonna look at you and say, okay, so you don't care about this position. Why should we care about you? Basically, right? So if people are teasing you, saying, hey, we don't wear a suit here, we don't wear a tie here. But see, here's the interesting part: if you wear them, you can take them off. But if you didn't bring them with you, then there's no way for you to put it back on, right? So always one up the client when it comes to appearances. All right. Now, when it comes to posture, people know about, usually have an idea what good posture is, even though they might not necessarily do well. And we cannot necessarily demonstrate that in this video, but basically, you want to stand as straight as you can. Try to be tall, right? Try to stand tall. And that's usually will fix the problem. So, slouching is not good, basically. Try to open up your shoulder, go like this, more, right? That'll make you stand taller, right? And then when you always try to make sure you have a smile on your face, you don't necessarily have to, you don't have to bare your teeth fully, but look happy, basically, right? Look happy, and when you're talking to a person, it's okay if you stutter a little bit. I mean, stuttering is not a big deal because sometimes you might not necessarily find the right word to say. But definitely, don't try to fidget. Don't try to hide. Try to think of yourself as this. Try to think of yourself as an equal. Okay. Do not think of yourself as inferior to the interviewers. And this, because how can you become part of them if you're not equal to them? Right? So definitely imagine yourself that you are already hired. Start with this thought in mind that I'm only here to confirm that. But, again, I always tell people this, that you're pre-qualified. They're not going to call you unless they believe that based on your resume, you have the potential to get hired here. They just need to verify that your resume is true, basically. That's what they're looking for. So always think that you're pre-qualified when you walk through that door. And, do not come in here and say, oh my God, I really need this job, so please hire me, please hire me, please hire me. Just kind of similar to in the dating scene, that people don't look well to desperation. If you look desperate, then they don't really want to be associated with it. Just pick that to human nature, whatever. It's because it can certainly sound a little bit cruel. That how come you don't give a job to someone who really needs it? Or how come you don't date someone who really wants to date you, right? Who really needs a boyfriend or girlfriend? But just the way the humans are, we want to be associated with someone who's on equal footing, or even potentially a superior footing as us, right? We do not want to feel someone clinging onto us. It's like, oh my God, too sticky, right? But we want someone who can work with us as partners, who can work with us as equals. So you want to be able to carry yourself that way when you get into an interview, whether it's in-person interview or whether it's remote interview. Make sure that you can demonstrate that that I'm very comfortable with you. I do not, I feel like we are equal, that we can be partners, and I'm interested to be partners, and let's go to get to business, basically. Okay. Any additional thoughts, questions about this?
No, I think this is good.
Okay. All right.